Hey everybody, welcome to Garden for Cheap, and today I am making sweetened condensed milk from scratch. Well, homemade. You get it. Anyway, let's get to it. Alright, for this recipe, I found it online. It had 5 stars. This is my first time trying it, but I figured, hey, why not bring you guys along? You need 2 cups of milk, 4 tablespoons of butter, and 3/4 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. But I need twice that much because I'm making banana pudding, so I'm doubling the recipe. So let's get to it. Alright, I've already got my ingredients pre-measured, just so for the filming. And why I have 3 measuring cups, I'll never know, but I do. So we have our milk, and we will add our sugar. Now that we got our ingredients in there, we're going to let it come to a slight boil and bring it down to where it's just kind of simmering. And we're going to let it go. I said it'd take about 30 minutes. And when it reduces to about half, that's when it's condensed down. And but as soon as I feel that it's starting to warm up and the sugar's starting to dissolve, I'll go ahead and stick my butter and my vanilla extract in there. But instead of just sitting here jabber-jawing for 30 minutes, I'll bring it back when it gets done. Alright, now that it's heated up a little bit, it's not done, but now that it's warm enough, I'm going to go ahead and put my 4 tablespoons. But like I said, I'm doubling the recipe, so I'm going to end up putting in 8. And we'll go ahead and put in our tablespoon of vanilla extract. Like I said, I'm doubling it, so I'm doing 2. And I'm just using the spoon to break up the butter to make it a little easier for it to melt. Or I'm trying to anyway. And it smells good. That's always a good sign. But, you know, every time I'm cooking something, I realize I don't have a certain ingredient or a certain thing I need to finish it. I always look to see if I can make it at home. Like last year during Thanksgiving, I completely forgot to get rolls. And then it was just, you know, by the time we went up there, they were just picked clean. So I ended up looking up a recipe online and making yeast rolls for the first time, and they turned out good. So I figured, hey, why not give this a shot? I needed 2 cans of condensed milk, sweetened milk. So I looked it up and like, hey, we can do that at home. I've got milk, I've got butter, I've got vanilla extract, I've got sugar. So let's make it ourselves. One more thing. You want to keep stirring it. Anytime you're cooking with milk, you don't want to just put it on the stove and walk away, because you'll scorch it and it'll burn to the bottom of the pan. You don't want that. You know, you can use a whisk. I'm using a wooden spoon. But just, you know, keep stirring it and don't let it stick to the bottom of the pan and burn, because that is not what you're wanting. Because if you burn it, you're going to taste it, and there's no getting rid of that taste, no matter how much sugar you add. Alright, and it's been boiling a little longer than 30 minutes, maybe more like 45, but I think it got it into the consistency I want it. It's reduced by quite a bit. I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to let it cool to room temperature. At least that's what the recipe calls for, so that's what we're going to do. Like I said, this is my first time making this, so if I mess it up, I mess it up. At least I gave it a shot. But you can kind of feel it's thicker than, than what it was when you started out, and it drops by half. But we're going to let that sit and cool, and we'll be right back. Yeah, remember when I said, when you're cooking milk, you don't want to walk away from it. Keep stirring it so it don't stick to the bottom and then scorch it. Yeah, it seems like I need to follow my own advice. When I turned off the heat, I just walked away, and I'm thinking that it's electric stove. The burner's still hot. Luckily for me, it didn't scorch it to the point where it changed the taste. But there is a little coating on the bottom of the pan, and I did stir it once or twice before I realized it. So when I go to pour it into a measuring cup, I'm going to use a little to make sure I don't get any of those little particles. So, lesson learned. Take the pan off the burner, stick it on one that's not hot. Just trying to help. But I don't listen to my own advice. But it's not cooled off. I think it's cooled off enough. It's not boiling anymore. It's just sitting there. So let's try to do this without burning ourselves or making a mess. Need something to front that up with. And my subtle will do. Check that out. But see, that's what happens when you walk away and leave it on the heat. Don't do that. Well, that won't be soaking for a while. Alright. You can see I grabbed 2 because it was supposed to make, since I doubled it, it should have made 2.5, I think. Yeah. But since I let it go on the stove too long, it was a little less than that. So 30 minutes definitely is the key. And don't walk away from it. So, but that'll work there. And that'll work just fine. But there you go. All in all, not bad. I got just probably got 2 1/4 cups of condensed sweetened milk, or sweetened condensed milk. And took about 30 minutes. Maybe, like I said, I did maybe a little longer than I should have. And also leaving it on the heat and walking away, that was not a good idea either. But I figured, oh, the heat's off, I can go do what I have to do now. No. But anyhow, wasn't that hard of a recipe. I'll have it in the description. And I highly recommend it. I've tasted it. It tastes just like the store-bought stuff. And yeah, I hope that helps somebody. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you on the next one. God bless and peace.